My name is Gareth Grover. I play the drums. I play the drums for Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes.
You sure it creeps up on you. There comes out of fucking nowhere. Why I rose for masses? Still the end and I still haven't slept. If the sun comes up, then we're going again. It's the patron saint of the fucking stage.
To begin, could you introduce yourself in a few sentences?
Yeah. My name is Gareth Grover. I play the drums. I play the drums for Frank Carter and the Rattlesnakes. That is my main gig. But I also am a studio session musician. So I play for any other artists on recording or live concerts. I am a teacher, a drum teacher, and I also teach about some recording techniques and about the music industry as well in colleges. Yeah, that's me.
How did you discover the drums?
So that's hard to tell. My parents, my mother and my father, went to see Genesis. So you know the band Genesis. They went to see Genesis when I was in my mother's stomach when she was pregnant. And it was the first time that I started to kick inside her. So she thinks that might be where my love of the drums came from, with Phil Collins on the drums. But I think it's more to do with my dad played many, many records when I was a child, when I was growing up. He would play lots and lots and lots of records, and I would look at the records, I'd open the sleeves of the records, and I would just get lost in taking everything in about this music that I was hearing. And I think the drums was always the thing that most caught my ear. It most left an impression on me. Just to feel the beat and to feel that want to kind of to dance and to nod my head. So yeah, I think that's how I discovered the drums.
What was your musical background before playing with the Rattlesnake?
So that I started learning the drums for fun at school when I was 11 years old. So I spent some years, I was very lucky to have proper drum lessons with a good structure, and my teacher would push me into making performances with the school bands and the school orchestra, and the school jazz band, which was the most fun of all of them. And that's where it started. From there, I studied music. I did my exams in music at school. I went from there and started playing small concerts, like in bars and in pubs, and playing other people's music, playing cover songs and but having a lot of fun doing it. And I then chose to go to university to study music performance. And from there, that's all I really wanted to do. So I spent the next 20 years continuing to study by learning the instrument more. I joined bands. So I've been in 2 or 3 other bands in years before the Rattlesnakes. Each one sort of doing a little bit, and then the band would break, and then I get in another band, and the band would do more, and we'd start touring, and then that band would break, and then I joined another band and did a little bit more. So that was really how it started for me, and then how I continued my career from there. But all the way through, I also had to try and make a living, make money as a business. So I also started to teach the drums myself.
1, 2, 3, 4. Da 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 da. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Which was also a love of mine, because I loved what my teacher was able to do for me to help me learn, and I enjoyed being able to pass that on to other people. And then in 2015, I was in no band, and Frank called me, and the rest is history.
You have been giving drum lesson for several years. Why did you want to give a drum lesson? And is it important for you to continue giving lesson when you are very busy with the band?
Yeah, so as I said, I think it's important for me, and I wanted to give the lessons for those 2 main reasons. As a musician in the modern world of the music industry, I think you have to do lots of different things with your skills. So teaching was a very useful way of earning some money for my business, but it felt like a really good way to do it, because I had a passion for the instrument, and I was lucky to be taught very well, I think, and I understand the theory of music, the specific skills involved in playing lots of different types of styles of music, and playing drums for those styles, and lots of experience playing with other musicians. And I think all of those different skills mean, if you're able to teach those, students are getting a really round picture, a wide picture of how to do this instrument, how to play this instrument well and to the top of their ability. So that's why I wanted to give drum lessons. I felt I had something to offer, and I enjoy it. And then your question about continuing to give lessons even while I'm in the band. Well, I would say the band are busy, but only when the band are busy. So there are periods of time where the band are not busy because they're writing music, or we are on a break between one tour and another tour, and I have to continue being a musician, doing other things. And I have always had a lot of fun and enjoyed teaching. So yeah, I continue to do the teaching whenever I am able to do it. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yes, perfect. How did you meet the other members of the group?
Yeah, so I've already talked about the other bands that I have been in earlier in my career. You wouldn't know who they are, and neither should you know who they are. But the first band I played in, we played lots of concerts together with other bands in the same sort of music scene, in the same area of the UK. And one of those, so along with Gallows and my band and many other bands, we all played lots of concerts together, playing the same on the same bill, and we would meet. We all had a lot in common. We often would be playing in other bands with members of the other bands, so we all knew each other quite well. Then, except I didn't really sort of know Frank in particular well as a person. I knew him of his band and what the band were doing. Fast forward another 4 years, and I was in another band called Haunts, and the bass player of Haunts was Tom Mitchener, who, fast forward another 9 years, 8 years, 9 years, he was playing bass and recording the first Rattlesnakes album. So again, it's a case of I knew somebody in the band from my days playing in bands with them. And after the band had recorded Blossom, the first record, which I didn't play the drums on Blossom, but I joined the band about halfway through the time of touring the album Blossom, and I got involved in making the next record, Modern Ruin, the second album, and I got the phone call to be involved because Tom Mitchener, the bass player, said they should give me a ring. And I'm very happy that he did, because it's been, a very, very, very good time since then. So I knew Tom, the bass player, who is not the bass player anymore. And I knew Frank loosely, and then met Dean when I joined the band. And yeah, that's how I started. That's how I got in the Rattlesnakes.
Do you have a ritual or a fetish object with you during a concert?
I like this question. No, I don't have. I like this question, but I don't have an answer. No, I have no objects. I have to say the idea of a fetish item is brilliant, because the word for me in the English language just conjures up all sorts of red light district kind of thoughts. Yeah, so like leather and things like that. No, I don't have any fetish related items, but I do have a routine that I always stick to, or for most concerts we play, and the routine is to make sure that I've eaten food no more than 3 hours. Sorry, no less than 3 hours before we start playing. So no food, because it makes me feel too slow when I'm playing if I feel full of food. But also, it helps me, I feel more comfortable to then do a lot of stretching. So most concerts I will stretch, kind of like sort of yoga type stretches. So my whole body, I'll be stretching my legs, my back, my arms, my neck, everything, more to get the blood moving around my body, really, and to start building a sense of sort of energy for the performance. And after the stretching, I will warm up on a practice pad. It's not anything surprising. I'm afraid it's quite boring, but I think it's very important. To me, it's very important to make sure that I feel comfortable for playing the concert. And so stretching, practice pad, warm-ups where I just play. I play all sorts. I play some rudiments. I play some exercises, and I do some exercises that involve sort of stamina, to be able to keep the energy going for longer periods. And then I'm ready and I play a gig. So yeah, nothing special, but it's a very good and very important routine.
What kind of emotion does a concert give you?
This is also a really good question. It gives me every kind of emotion, different for every concert. Mostly always happiness. I love what I do. I am very, very lucky to be able to do this as a job, and so yeah, happiness mostly. But I think it's also a time when you can feel very vulnerable. You can feel very exposed in a performance, and that has the effect of often helping you to experience lots of different emotions for lots of different reasons when you're playing. They can be emotions about like how you're playing, how you're actually physically playing, whether you're playing good or playing bad. So that could be good emotions, or that could be kind of, angry or disappointed or these kind of emotions. Yeah, sometimes the same about not just my playing, but about how the whole band feels together. That can make you feel emotional, again, if it feels good that day, or if it feels different and maybe you can't hear very well, or, yeah, and those can make you deal with other emotions. Sometimes it's even just feeling emotions because of what you have done or something that's happened to you in that day. Maybe you've had a bad phone call with somebody, or heard some bad news or good news, and you can feel all of those things even more, even in a really kind of explosive way as part of the performance. It's a very interesting thing. I don't know why it happens, but it does. There's times I've felt sort of desperately sad when I've played. Sometimes, times in the middle of songs. Some of the songs that Frank has written are very personal songs about him and his daughter. And I also have children. I have two boys. And being away on tour is a really tough thing to do sometimes. We love it, but also it takes us away from our families. So, sometimes the emotions can be sadness when I feel and I hear what the song is about, and I can get sort of caught up and lost in that feeling. But I think that's really important to do. Playing a concert is a very it's a very active way of sometimes getting those emotions out and doing something with them. So that's good. So yeah, lots of emotions, all of them.
I spent so many nights feeling like I'm underqualified to be the father of a girl so strong. And I feel like I'm only really wrong. Even if the oceans stop falling up in rage, clouds burst into thunder and blood begins to rain. I promise I'm yours in everything you need. Even when I'm not there, I'm wishing I could be. I'm wishing I could be. I'm wishing I could be. I'm wishing.
Could you talk about your best memory related to the concerts?
Yes, I can. I spoke about this on a podcast I recorded yesterday. So this is easy. This is a good memory. The memory is we played some concerts with the Foo Fighters in 2019, 2018 and 2019. The first one in 2018 was in Gothenburg in Sweden, and we got to sort of we played our set, and then we got to watch the Foo Fighters play their set. We were out in the crowd, and they played the song My Hero, which is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Watch him as he goes. Yeah, just my hero. He's ordinary.
For lots of reasons. But it reminded me of a time back in 1998, I think, when I was a teenager and I went to Brixton Academy in London, a very famous venue, concert venue in London, and I saw the Foo Fighters play when they had just released their second album, The Colour and the Shape, which is the album with the song My Hero. So that's 20 years before, 20 years in the past. And I watched that concert, and the performance was incredible. I was 16 or 17 years old, and I was watching thinking, wow, what must it be like to perform a concert like that on that stage, huge stage, to a really big crowd. It must feel incredible, and it inspired me a lot to just keep going with my with my drumming, and to keep pushing myself to try and make something of my career in drumming. Fast forward to, I think, 2017, and Rattlesnakes played a concert at Brixton Academy at the same venue. So I felt very honoured to be able to play a concert at that venue, and to think back to when I saw the Foo Fighters there and was blown away, and imagined, myself hopefully doing that in the future. And there we were, doing it for ourselves. Fast forward one more year, we had no idea that we would then also be supporting that very same band. Incredibly lucky to be able to do so, and that I would be there watching them in Gothenburg playing My Hero, and it completed this cycle of or this sort of circle of my life in drumming so far. So that was, a very humbling experience. That was good.
A final message for the people who will watch this video?
Yeah, I do. It's probably the same thing I say to most people who might be interested in following their heart to play an instrument, and to try, to make something of that, and write music and make music. It's also a good rule for all of life in general, I think. I would say do something, do it for yourself and not for other people. It can be a really challenging thing to do, and you have to love what you're doing. And if you love it, you will chase it, and you will make something of what you're trying to do. As I say, it's a difficult industry to be in, but if you love it and you are genuine about your pathway, just follow it, do everything you can, say yes to anything, playing a concert, doing a recording, and yeah, you will find a way. Yeah, I think that's my message.
Good. Thank you, Gareth. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you, Johnny, for asking me these questions. Yeah.
Riding on the cavalcade, snakes, king and queen. Star-crossed mother, greatest ever kitty sucker. Tripping us like gasoline. Lied to halves of the same eye.